Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani and the #2 Democrat in the Senate, Dick Durbin, join us from their home states this morning to talk about this campaign. And Mr. Mayor, I want to start with you. I want to ask you about your remarks about the vice president. Did you really say at some place along the way, I mean, I heard you in the soundbite at the top of this broadcast, that you were worried that...
I really said it.
You best what?
I said after not knowing what state he was in, not knowing what century he was in 24 hours, and making what I would consider to be an absolutely disgusting appeal to racial sentiment, I said, I wonder if he's got the mental capacity to, be the president of the United States.
Do you really mean that, or are you just using that as a metaphor? Well, is that just campaign talk, or you really think he's nuts?
Oh no, I don't think he's nuts. I'm just saying. I wonder if he's got the kind of balance. Probably, what I should have said was, the balance to be president of the United States. I mean, this guy is like one gaffe after another, and he's a joke on late night television. I think they've also locked him in his room for the rest of the campaign. I think the president scolded him and.
Look at what they value and look at their budget.
I mean, it's been one strange incident after another. Telling a man in a wheelchair to stand up. I don't know what's going on with him, but somebody should explain it. And I guess there was also, and excuse me for this, because I know sometimes Republicans come across looking like we feel sorry for ourselves. But I think we feel that if this were Cheney or Sarah Palin or Dan Quayle, my goodness, all you guys on television would be going crazy about how could he say this and what's wrong with him. And so maybe I was just trying to even up the score a little bit. But I do think there are some serious questions.
All right. Well, I guess I better go to Dick Durbin and see what is your reaction to what the mayor just said.
Well, I can tell you, I served with Joe Biden for 14 years in the Senate, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. I've worked with him as vice president. I would just say, to paraphrase an earlier debate, I know Joe Biden. Joe Biden is my friend, and Rudy Giuliani, that isn't fair. What you've said has gone too far. And if you're going to put yourself out as the arbiter and the judge of vice presidential candidates, we're going to remember that 4 years ago you told America at the Republican convention that Sarah Palin should be the vice president of the United States. She was ready to be commander-in-chief and president of the United States. That speaks for itself.
Mayor?
Well, I think Sarah Palin actually is operating at a level quite a bit above Joe Biden. I mean, Joe, this is one joke after another, and you can't escape that. I mean, last week, wrong state. Last week, wrong century. Last week, that was an absolutely blatant appeal to racism. It was they're going to put you back in chains. Emphasize the word back, and it was on a teleprompter. Now, that's disgusting. And somebody in the Democratic Party, in addition to Governor Wilder, who had the guts to do it, should be able to stand up and say, Joe, I'm not going too far. Joe Biden's going too far.
Senator Durbin.
If I can say a word here.
Sure.
I'd like to say a word here. There isn't a racist bone in Joe Biden's body. And to suggest that is, I think, over the edge. The fact is that Joe Biden, throughout his career, has fought for equality and opportunity. And to suggest something else, it may have been a misuse of words, but to take it to that extreme is just too much, Mr. Mayor.
Well, then how about apologizing for it instead of the White House backing him up on it? Make-believe Southern accent. Y'all, Joe talks like you all in Delaware. You all going to be put back in chains? Okay, maybe he didn't mean it. I'll give him that. But how about the Vice President of the United States now apologizing for at least what appears to be some kind of vicious pandering? I'd accept that. I think most people would.
Senator Biden.
I'm not going to dignify those remarks because I think people know Joe Biden. They know his service to this country. They know what he's done in America when it comes to the Violence Against Women Act, the Criminal Justice Act. This man has been an extraordinary leader in the Senate and in the United States. If he made some misstep in his statement, so be it. Don't we all, Mayor Giuliani? Have you had a problem like that in the past?
Oh, we do.
I have.
All right. Yeah, I think we probably take
I have, and I've apologized for it. And the real issue here is they're pretending everything is okay with it, and it's not.